Hi, and welcome to this Coda Guitar special on Seasick Steve style guitar. So he's famous for playing a red 3-string guitar, so similar to the one we've got here. Really easy to sort of adapt your guitar. You literally take 3 strings off. So if we just go straight to a little close-up here. I've kept what's normally string 5, so that's normally the A string. I've taken off the low E and the high E, so that's string 1, string 6, and then in the middle string 4, what's normally the D string. So this is very similar to open G tuning, except that we've got 3 strings missing. So what we've done here, what he does is he takes this 5th string, which is normally an A, and he tunes it down to a G, and then we take the 3rd string, keep it as it is, that's normally a G, and then the 2nd string, which is normally a B, so we've got G, G, B. So this is focusing on basically right hand finger picking, so even if you're playing a normal 6-string guitar with 6 strings in open G tuning, you can still get some ideas from this. So what happens in blues finger picking is we often keep the thumb thumping away, so the thumb's like on the beat. So if you're tapping your foot along with some music, your thumb's normally going to be playing where your foot would be tapping. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that. And your fingers are either going to be with your thumb, what we call on the beat, so plucking together, or they're going to be in between, so it could be thumb, finger. Okay, so what I'm going to do to start with, I'll just go back to another close-up. I'll just come around here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to play thumb at the beginning, and then I'm going to pluck together with the middle and index fingers. So the index fingers on this G and the middle fingers on the B, and then the thumb's obviously on the low G string. So I'll play one thumb on its own, and then I'll pluck all 3 strings together like that. 1, 2. That's on beat 2. On beat 3 we've got thumb, middle on the B string, thumb, index on the G string, that's beat 4. So beats 3 and 4, we're alternating, switching between G, the thumb and then the fingers. So it's thumb, finger, finger. So all of that together is thumb, together, thumb, finger, thumb, together, thumb, middle, thumb, index. Speed it up a bit. So it's quite a standard sort of folky sounding pattern that could be used for blues, folk, all sorts. What we can do to make it sound a little bit more sort of authentic sounding is we can actually palm mute, we can dampen this low G string with this part of our right hand, whichever hand you're plucking the strings with. So the little finger side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all get my hand so that it's fairly straight with the bridge, and then I'm just going to roll it round like this, and then I'm at an angle, and hopefully we should be muting, dampening the strings a bit. It's called palm muting, but you can actually still hear the pitch, so it's not like a proper complete deadened muted sound, it's like a dampened sound. And if you're at this particular angle, so I'm resting partly on the string and also partly on the bridge itself, and I've kept the high G and the B strings free, so not muted, unmuted. So we get a bit of a differentiation between the bass and the high notes. Okay, so what you can do to just practice this and get a tone that you're happy with is once you've got your hand in position, you come round like this, and you can literally keep exactly that same position but slide up and down the length of the string. So that's too much there, so nothing at all, and something like that. And when you're muting, you can actually dig in, you can actually pick a little bit more heavily with your thumb as well, just to get a bit of resonance out the string. So that first pattern, I'm going to use that for most of it. I can do a little rhythmical fill if I want, which is literally just using the second half of that pattern. So what I said were beats 3 and 4, which were thumb, middle, thumb, index, and I'll just repeat that. So it just sounds like it's a bit faster, speeding up a bit. So I can play the first full pattern, which is thumb, together, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, together, thumb, middle, thumb, index, and then here's the fill. Okay, so all I've got to do now is change some notes. So I'll do a separate video on basic slide technique. So if you don't feel very confident in using a slide, which obviously is another key requirement of Seasick Steve style guitar playing, then check the other video out. But basically what I'm doing, assuming you know what you're doing in this particular video, is I'm going for fret 3 with the slide. So you've got to remember, we've got to be right over the top of the fret, not normally where you fret with your finger, but right on top of the fret itself. Fret 5, and I'll go up to fret 12. So fret 12 is a good one. It's normally 2 dots on the fretboard of your guitar, and that is because it's a very important one. It's exactly the same as whatever your open strings are tuned to. So if it was tuned to G, G, B, then we've also got G, G, B up here as well. So if I just add that fingerstyle pattern to these different frets, okay, so I'm going to go to fret 3, fret 5, do that again. So I'm doing that pattern twice on the open strings, 1 and once each on fret 3 with the slide and fret 5 with the slide. And another thing with the slide is what you need to do is make sure that the action, that the distance of the strings off the fretboard is higher than normal. So you can do this by usually adjusting your bridge, and your guitar will probably have a truss rod here, so it's normally like an Allen key, so you can slacken the neck off a little bit. Be careful you don't banana the neck, but you can slacken that off a little bit, and you can raise the bridge slightly just so the overall distance of the strings is a bit higher. So if I do that one more time, this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to fret 12 as well. But instead of covering all of the strings, which is what I was doing on fret 3 and fret 5, I'm going to just leave the open string ringing, so I've still got a bit of bass, and we've just got these high notes with the slide. So so I can just a bit of variation there. So so it sounds very similar, it's just much brighter sounding, so it's a nice option if you get bored with just playing the open strings all the time. So just finally, to put in that little fill, what I might do is I might play fret 5 and I might go thumb, middle, thumb, index, fret 3, thumb, middle, thumb, index. So I'm playing 2 different positions in what we call 1 bar. So 2 beats on fret 5 and 2 beats on fret 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So full bar here, 4 beats, but half. So effectively blues is like a really improvised style, so it's quite good if you just take some of those little elements, whether it's like a rhythmical right hand or picking pattern element, and just vary it by maybe taking, instead of all of that, just the second half. It's quite a nice little sort of faster sounding rhythmical fill, and then just literally find different places where you can play with your slide. Fret 10 is good, fret 7 is good as well, and you can literally mix it up by sometimes covering all of the strings, or maybe just leave the open G ringing through and just like cover, use the slide on the top 2 strings, and then you can get something like this. So hopefully that'll be useful for you, and I'll see you again soon.